Hello again, guys, and I'm here to do another fan requested review topic. Today I have been asked to review or give my thoughts on feelings on whether Hollywood has run out of ideas in terms of movies today, because most days movies either are sequels, they're remakes, reboots, or they pretty much take an idea from another movie and kind of apply it to its own to see if people know the difference or to see which one's better. In terms of remakes, I don't necessarily think that all remakes are bad. They definitely have a place in Hollywood simply because, well, here's an example. Okay. Alright, Total Recall, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hang on, let me go grab it. Where the hell is it? Come on, where are you? I swear. So. Sorry, I can't seem to find it. Anyway, Total Recall is being remade, and some would say that's kind of a sacrilegious idea to remake an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, but I think the purpose of remakes is either just to update the story, or tell the same story in a different and a unique way that works. I don't necessarily believe that you can tell a single story, that there's only one way to tell it. It's definitely possible to tell the same story, just, I don't know, switch it around, change a lot of the elements, but the main focus is still there. I definitely believe that's possible. The problem that remakes do, however, is, oh shit, there it is. Sorry. Sorry, I don't know why I didn't see it the first time. I think the problem that remakes have is that they're relying too much on the old idea, and they're expecting that the ones who already know the story will accept it, and they take too much of the original story and they simply just update the CG in it, and I think that's about it. They don't really try to change it up. However, I have seen a few remakes lately that, in my opinion, were better. And I hate for saying this, but one remake that was considered terrible, which I agree, which was Conan the Barbarian, which came out last year. Yes, it was a lot worse than the one Arnold Schwarzenegger did. But if there's one thing I do admit that I enjoyed more about the newer one than the old one, was kind of I'll say the first half section. Let's just say I was a little into the first half, or the first third of the new one than I was with the original one. But the original one is still 10 times better. If Hollywood really wants to make remakes work, what they need to do is they need to see the mistakes that the original had, because, trust me, original movies during that time period tend to make mistakes. What they can do, however, is they can capitalize on that. They can fix those mistakes and then build upon them to make it even better. And if you can do that, and you still change it up enough to where it's its own story, then that's how a remake should be done. Not just take the old idea, throw give it a new paint job, and then say, yeah, this is better, because that's not what makes a remake better. In terms of sequels, sometimes sequels are necessary and sometimes they're not necessary. And let's see, what's an example of something that didn't need a sequel? A sequel I happily regret is Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Now, Mortal Kombat is my favorite, video game based movie, and the way it left off was to a sequel, but if you really think about it, it really didn't need one. It was pretty self-contained. All the tie-ins and plot holes, all the characters had closure. There was really no need to go into a sequel, which ended up being one of the worst decisions ever. The problem with sequels is that, for the goal of any sequel is basically to see what the first one did and then do it better. I'm sure the guys or the writers, they sit down and say, okay, this is what we did in the first one, but how do you make it a little bit bigger, a little bit better, add more suspense, add more excitement, add more fun with it. But what they lose track of, what they add in, action and all that, they pretty much lose in heart. It's like, okay, the main focus is to focus on this character's story and his change. And they believe that with, their version of, character development is just throw him into an action scene in which he has to barely survive. That's not how you do it. You pretty much continue the story of the first one and you go deeper into that character or his relationships with the characters around him. It's never all, I really never like to see a movie where it's just about one character. Because without other characters to interact with, there really is no character development. The perfect example I can say to that is the Harry Potter series. Really, Harry Potter on his own, really in my opinion, doesn't make much character development. He is still the kind-hearted, I want to do the right thing kind of character that he is in the first one all the way through. It's really Ron and Hermione that really make the most character development. But it's Harry's interaction with these two characters as they're changing, which makes him also just as interesting, because as they're changing, he's kind of adapting to their changes, and that's always a good thing. And finally, in terms of Hollywood taking ideas from other things, at this age, every idea has been done. It's really difficult to come up with an original idea that's not oh, sorry, I was waiting for something. It's really hard to really come up with an original idea for movies or even in games that's not inspired or somehow influenced by another game. Any game you play, any movie you see, you will see things in it that will remind you of other movies. Now, whether that was the director's or the writer's actual influence, we don't know. But no matter what movie you go see, you're gonna see something that isn't there that connects it to another movie, or maybe they intentionally added it. We don't know. I'm not a writer per se, and I don't think I'd make a very good one. So, do I think Hollywood's running out of ideas? I think they've run out of ideas a long time ago. What they're trying to do is they're trying to do updates on the stories we already know, which is not a bad idea, but if they don't do a good enough job with updating a certain version of a story, then it's not going to work. And that is really my thoughts and feelings on whether Hollywood has run out of any ideas or not. I would just like to state now that next Wednesday I will be putting out my review on Devil May Cry HD collection, and which can be tied in with the 5-year collection too. And yes, I'm still working on my Final Fantasy 13 rant. It is nearly complete. I just need to add a couple audio tones to it and a couple of just a couple of 3D things in there to make it look flashy. And with that, I end this video. If you liked it, please like, comment down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the topic, and subscribe up top. If you have a topic or question that you would like me to answer either in a fan request or in the People's Questions, which airs every Friday, I would like to hear it. Please comment them down below, and like always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.